Welcome back everybody to more from the Sableyes. I'm Mitch and I'm bringing you another deck profile today. This time it is Baby Blacephalon. This is the list from the Cologne Regionals. It ended up in 14th place with Brent Kuzmans, who I know is a frequenter of the comments, so thanks very much Brent. And I figured we'd run through this list. It's probably one of the more interesting ones on the list of decks from Cologne. It's a bunch of the normal stuff that you'd expect to see. Reshizard, Pikarom, Mew Mew obviously ended up winning, and then you've got some terrible people who decided to play some stall as well. But this is a really cool list that does something a little bit different. It's obviously based around the Baby Blacephalon, and we've seen it before with Fireball Circus being able to discard any number of fire energy from your hand to do 50 damage for each of those that you discarded. But with Welder and all of this support that we have from the last couple of sets, makes this deck really, really strong. Used to see quite a lot of play, but obviously not as much now. Still doing quite well for Brent, which is good. Obviously you can still use Blazer as well as a decent 1 energy attack, especially if you're going up against something like a Jirachi. Obviously will knock it out if you manage to flip a fire energy over, which would be pretty good. Downside is it's got a couple of retreat costs. Double colorless energy is not great, but hey, not going to retreat, are you? You're just going to use it to attack and then going to get knocked out, and then you're going to move on with your life. In the list, there's also one copy of Blacephalon GX. You've got multiple copies of Baby Blacephalon down with a few energy here and there. Mind Blown can be a really big threat to knock out something large, like maybe a Reshizard or a Pikarom or even a Mew Mew. But I think one of the best things that this card does in this deck is gives you access to Burst GX. Means that you're going to be able to take your last prize for free, or on a turn when maybe you've missed an attack and missed an attachment, maybe something like that, you'll be able to get that extra prize and potentially accelerate to your board as well, which will be really strong. One final attacker, we have Victini Prism. 2 fire energy, shuffles your energy back into the deck and does 20 damage for each one. It's obviously very, very powerful, and with 15 fire energy, you can potentially do up to, 260 damage with Victini, which is pretty strong. It's obviously disappointing that we can't get to the 270, but that's okay. It's not a massive deal, we'll be able to do it with Blazer. We also have in this list one copy of Pheromosa. I can't for the life of me figure out why this is in there, so Brent, if you're watching, please tell me if I've missed a reason that it's good. Obviously the retreat is really strong, gives you a free pivot, you can search it out with Ultra Space, so it's never going to be wasted. Search, you'll be able to grab that, and you can potentially Beast Ring to it if you don't have any other beasts in play. Hang on a second. Yeah, so we could Beast Ring to it, I guess. But you'd be playing Blacephalons anyway. And High Jump Kick, I guess if you got a Beast Energy, you could do 50 damage, which could maybe take out like a Whooper or something. But I'm presuming that's mainly in there for the retreat. As for the supporters, it's obviously running the Welder engine, so attaching 2 fire energy and drawing 3 cards. This card's super strong, and it's obviously the reason that lots of good decks, Blacephalon, Abilityzard, Green's Reshizard, are successful, and it's going to do the same thing in this list. We're going to be able to Welder to a Blacephalon and then attack with it in the same turn. And we're also using Green's Exploration in order to search out specific trainers in order to help our Blacephalon's attack. If we need to find a Welder, that's fine, we can find one. We need energy, we can grab a Fire Crystal or a Fiery Flint. We're going to be able to find exactly what we need, and the best thing about Greens is if you do have the attack, you're going to be able to get yourself a double custom catcher in order to gust out whatever big bad GX is sitting on your opponent's bench waiting to kill you. So you're going to be able to take knockouts on those. It also plays one more trainer, one more supporter, that is Brock's Grit. Obviously the deck is based around a 1 prize attacker. We only play 7 Pokemon in total, and we need to put energy back into the deck to get that 1 prize attacker to get going. Brock's Grit will be handy in the late game in order to put Blacephalons and energy back into the deck so that we can keep attacking. It's important to note as well, play a copy of Power Pad. This is probably going to be used in the most part to get Welders back. We are super reliant on hitting Welder pretty much every if not every turn, then every second turn to be able to attack consistently. So Power Pad is going to give us the best outs to do that, putting our welders back into the deck. We also have some consistency in things like Heat Factory in order to discard Fire Energy to draw cards, or the classic 4 of Acro Bike. Acro Bike obviously looks at the top 2 cards. We can discard something we don't need and give ourselves what we do in hand. And obviously the forbidden consistency, Custom Catcher. If worse does come to worse, we can play this to draw some cards as well. We have a couple of, we only have one search option. We've got a couple of interesting cards that you wouldn't see in other lists. We've got one search option in Ultra Space. All of our Pokemon, apart from Victini, are searchable by Ultra Space. We're just going to have to draw into Victini. It's going to have to be the way that it is. We have 4 Fire Crystals in order to get energy back from the bin, and 3 Fiery Flint to get it from the deck, which is pretty strong. And then, on that awkward 2 prize turn, we can Beast Ring to find 2 basic energies, put them onto our Ultra Beasts, and go from there. Obviously, we're not playing a heavy Blacephalon GX count, so Beast Ring isn't here to fill up our board full of energy. It's here to give us a free turn to get those energy onto Baby Blacephalon, and most importantly, you can search for it with Green's Exploration as well when you are down, when you're on that 4 prize turn, as per Beast Ring, when your opponent has 3 or 4 prizes remaining. The last couple of cards, we got 1 copy of Reset Stamp in order to shuffle our opponent's hand into their deck and draw some equal to their prizes, as well as 4 copies of Pokegear in order to find the supporters that we need. Since we're not playing Jirachi, we're going to need to be able to find our supporters in some other way. We're not as reliant on Welder, but we still want to find them, so Pokegear is going to be the way we'll do that. Lastly, certainly not least, is our single copy of Beast Energy. Since we have 6 out of 7 of our Pokemon as Beasts, we can attach them to any of our Pokemon to get that extra 30 damage in order to put some numbers into some nicer places for us. It means we only have to discard 3 of our Fire Energy from hand in order to knock out something like a Dedenne or anything under 180 HP effectively, and it means as well that we can start to reach those really, really big numbers a little bit more easily. Unfortunately, Pikarom is going to be just out of our grasp with Beast Energy. We're still going to need to discard 5 to get to 240. So yeah, this is the list. It's a pretty cool one that I'm excited to try out. I haven't played Baby Blounce for a very, very long time, so let's jump on the ladder and have a look at whether or not I can continue to win games on PTCGO. Baby Blounce, obviously a interesting matchup for lots of big GX decks. Probably why it saw such a large success, because the field in Cologne was just full of tag teams. Things like Guardian and Mew Mew and Pikarom and Reshizard, all seeing heaps and heaps and heaps of hype. The only other decks really that weren't those big GXs were things like Spiritomb. There was a couple of Malamars floating around, and then obviously Pidgeotto Control was there as well. So we'll see how we can go with this one. We'll see. It looks like we've got a water type deck here, but that shouldn't be a problem for us, presuming that it's something like Keldeo. If they think that we're playing Blacephalon GX, then they might chuck that down and make it a little bit easier for us. And I'll tell you right now, the hand that we're playing does make it look like we're playing Blacephalon GX. And here we go. We've got ourselves an opening. We've got a Welder in hand. We've got a Heat Factory. We've got an Ultra Space. We've got a whole bunch of stuff we can do. So we are looking really, really strong here for our first turn. There's a lot of cards that they've just drawn there. We mulliganed a lot, obviously. We'll wait and see what they put down. What is going on here? Let's see. A Alolan Vulpix and a Dedenne in the active. Yikes. Alright, we're going to Acro Bike. I'm going to grab that Custom Catcher because we already have an Ultra Space. I'm just going to welder both onto the Blacephalon. I've thought about playing down the Heat Factory, but I think it's better just to chuck that down. The Reset Stamp as well. I might even consider playing that, just so we can get ourselves into a decent position. Do we search? I think we search out now. I can grab myself another little Blacephalon, It means I've got another attacker if things do go horribly wrong. I've also got Heat Factory for next turn. And I will reset Stampede. That's a very, very, very big hand for them to have. I don't want to have access to all those cards. We'll get rid of those. There's an energy in the bin. I've got an energy in hand. We should be good. We should be good. But obviously we're in a bit of a bad position if we can't draw into a supporter here. Like a greens would be great, or even a welder. Looks like we might be looking at some sort of Squirtle deck. So we very easily are going to lose this. On the plus side, they only have 60 HP, so maybe we can get lucky with a Blazer. I don't know. We'll wait and see. Our opponent obviously happy to scoop up that Dedenne GX, get it out of the field of play, but not super happy to replace their active. Just trying to make a decision about what the best thing to do is there. But yeah, this is probably going to be a bad matchup for us. Depends on, obviously, like if we can keep attacking, then we should be okay. All left Ericas for 2. That's probably, I probably would have just played down the Dedenne. Obviously not super keen to keep that in the field of play. Alolan Vulpix isn't going to be a massive deal in this matchup, so he'd probably switch into that. Chooses to do so, and then just chucks the Dedenne down again, so a waste there, and it looks like it's Blastoise Keldeo. Obviously choosing not to put down any of those Keldeos, but having to get rid of the Blastoise as well. Ooh, that's no good. Got rid of our Ultra Space, which is annoying. Oh, and that's even more annoying. That's really annoying. Okay, cool. This is fine. This is fine. 1, 2, 3. Oh man. Okay, so we've got the catcher, so we can save that for later. I think what we do is we buy a crystal, we get those 2 back. We're gonna welder here, put them on the Blacephalon in the active. If we can get into 3 energy, that'll be great. If we can't, I'm happy to just... am I happy to just retreat here? No, I'll probably just use Blazer. Like, what's the worst that can happen? I'm gonna hold the energy and just use Blazer. I think that's probably the best thing to do. Because if I get lucky, I just kill this Vulpix. Or I could guarantee the knockout on the Squirtle. I should guarantee the knockout on the Squirtle with the attachment. That's probably smarter to do. So we'll attach the Beast Energy, and then we'll Fireball Circus. We'll just do that. Then I don't need to worry about it. I can take a prize. Let's see if the Blaze would have done it, by the way. It wouldn't have, so I'm glad that I didn't. Now, our big problem here is that we've got 2 powered attackers and no energy in hand, so pretty average. But on the plus side, our opponent doesn't have a lot to work with either, so you never know. We could be okay. And if we are able to knock out the other Squirtle, maybe they leave it active or whatever it is that they do, if we are able to knock that out, then we could be in a actually very strong position. Opponent playing Professor Elm now, putting down a bunch of Pokemon, getting as many Squirtles as they possibly can, making my life as hard as possible. Not looking like they're doing a huge amount here. They're not. Okay, cool. Alright. Well, I'm not doing a huge amount here either. So I'm just going to Blazer. I'm just going to Blazer here. I don't want to replace the Heat Factory. Ooh, dang. I'll just do 40. I don't want to replace the Heat Factory because if I draw into a Fire Energy, which is likely, then I want to be able to, you know, use that card. Cherish Ball coming down. So you never know. Oh, and a Alolan Ninetales. So that's going to be a Blastoise. Is it going to be enough to switch them out of the active? Could very easily be the thing that wins them the game this turn if I'm not able to get out here. Looks like they're going to switch and then maybe Dedenne in order to try and hit the Blastoise that they need. Or they'll just use Blastoise GX, that seems fine. If they're happy to do that, sure. Here it comes, so Blastoise comes down, it's got 2 energy on it, and there's the switch, so they're going to get the knockout on this Blacephalon. The worst bit is that they're going to be able to do it just by shuffling in 1 energy, I think. Or does it have to do, does Blastoise have to do all? No, it just has to do 1. Okay, so I need a really big turn here, and that's not going to do it. Probably should have played down this Pheromosa. You know, for the free retreat that I was talking about before. Because I knew that was probably going to happen. Ugh, yuck. Alright. What am I going to do here? Let's just chuck down. Let's just put all these things down. Let's just put them all down. Here we go. Play all the cards. Play all the cards. We'll Brock script. We'll shuffle all those back in. And I don't want to play down the Ultra Space because I just know that I'm going to get an energy next turn that's going to allow me to Heat Factory. I don't need to do anything else. I'm just going to Blazer again. I'm going to hope that I hit a Fire Energy. There we go. So I at least do 30 because of Solid Shell. So he's on 210. So now I only need to discard 5 if he doesn't knock me out. But all he needs is an energy. And you got to presume the fact that he was happy to take that knockout means that he has one. There it is. That's alright. Now I have a free retreater. Oh, super scoop up. Excellent. Well, this hasn't gone well. And there's a Cynthia there. I feel like this is probably not the way that this went for Brent when he was playing it. But that's okay. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not upset. I'm just glad that I'm here by myself so that no one else can hear the anger in my voice. Oh my goodness, it's so frustrating. That's okay. It's my own little misplay. I should have had that Pheromosa down. I would have been able to retreat into something a little bit more useful, but that's okay. Alright, so we're going to have a hell of a couple of cards here. On the plus side, we are in the Beast Ring turn, so if we do get a green or something like that, we should be able to do that. Ooh, hello green. I'm going to grab a Beast Ring and I think a Fiery Flint. That seems reasonable. Now it's a bit disappointing because I really, really want to put those welders back in the deck. But I think I have to use the Flint here to get the energy and then draw and hope for the best. I think I'm at that stage. Grab my 4 energies. I'm at that stage where I think this is the only real course of action. We'll play Beast Ring, we'll get 2 onto this Blacephalon. We will Heat Factory 1 away. Ooh, that's a bit disappointing. Now, we've got 1, 2, 3, we've got 4 in the bin. Okay, so I'm just gonna... No, I've not got enough. There's not enough. There's not enough. There's not enough. Okay, what's the next best thing to do? Do I just sit here and allow the Pheromosa to get knocked out? I mean, I could very easily do that. Or do I attach to the Victini? It's not going to be enough. Okay, I'm going to attach here, and I'm just going to pass. And allow my Pheromosa to get knocked out if my opponent chooses to. Because I could theoretically do a decent job, get a big knockout here. But my opponent's just got too much going on, and the fact that he's got a Blastoise engine means that I am unlikely to be successful in this endeavour. But I'm sure I could be a bit better in the next one. It's just not looking super strong. Using the Cherish Ball, no target, fair enough. Now Poker Gear. Now my opponent's still really struggling. If I was playing a deck that had that was drawing slightly better, then I'd probably be in a pretty strong position here. Like if I had drawn the nuts and knocked that Blastoise out this turn, I'd be feeling really, really good. But alas, 'twas not to be. 'Twas not to be, and now there's no draw. So things are bleak for Baby Blacephalon. I'm now going to Poker Gear and hope that I get a green so that I can search out another way to search out Fire Energy. Oh, there's the knockout on the Pheromosa. Alright, so here we go. Let's try it. I've got the Blacephalon. It's all powered up. I've got an Acrobike. I'm playing the Acrobike. I'm going to grab the Custom Catcher because I might need that later. We're going to play the Poké. Give me a green. Alright. Things are looking up. Things are looking up. So how many in the bin? There's that many. There's 4. So I can get one of those and one of those. And I've got 5 energy in deck. So this... going like this. If I fire crystal here... 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3. That gives me 5. That's 250 minus 30 will be a knockout, and I can save the flint for next turn. Or I can thin more out of my deck and just discard 2 of them, get them back a bit later. So I'm going to do that. Put those there. Now I can also potentially welder one on next turn as well. So I've got everything that I need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's all I need. Yes. I've got everything that I need to take a knockout with Victini next turn on anything that I want. So that's really strong. I'm gonna grab... It's the best thing here. So I can just grab the energy and just guarantee it. That seems pretty good. We'll go for whatever this prize is. Oh, green. Cool. Sweet. Alright. So that's not a problem. So I've got all the cards that I could possibly wish for. I've got a welder and a green. If I'd attached to the Victini, then I possibly would have been okay, because then I could have greens for a couple of things, but that's alright. Alright. Now we've got little baby powerful squalls coming up. So I'm concerned about this, but if I can knock one of them out, I can knock this Victini, or this Blastoise out with Victini, which is not unlikely. It's very, very likely, because there's already 160 worth in there. And that'll be really strong. And they keep using Erica, so it looks like they've built their list around having Erica's hospitality, which is fantastic. I might actually be able to come back in this game just for that fact alone. I've got Custom Catcher, and I've got Green. So what can I do? If this powerful Squall misses... It doesn't. Okay, no worries. So that's fine. We'll ignore that. It's got 3. Okay, alright. So I'm going to take a knockout on this Blastoise with the Victini. I'm going to need another Pokemon though. This is the thing where if I had have played the energy down last turn, that would have been very strong. I didn't, so there's nothing I can do about it. Oh! Mwah. Perfect. Okay. So now I'm thinking I'm going to have to gust. Right, I'm going to have to gust up one of these bad boys. Sacrifice the Victini, and then give myself the best out to my last welder. Okay, so this is what we're doing. We're going to welder twice, these 2 energy, onto the Victini and the active. Excellent. Cool. Okay. Sweet. So I can take 3 energy out, keep them in my hand, and still be doing enough damage to knock out this Blastoise, because I've got 8 in there, which means I can attach 1 to this Blacephalon. Then I can gust up something like this Dedenne, or this... Well, let's get the Dedenne. We can get the Dedenne here. And then I can hold the Pokegear in my hands, because I'm literally holding the game if I find Welder. Now, I'm in a bit of a rough spot, because I know... Okay, now I know that's a... I don't actually know what this is. It was a B-string. I thought it was a B-string. Anyway, I've gone off track. So my opponent cannot take 2 prizes this turn as far as I know. I've got a couple of extra cards to look at to find what I need. What I need is a welder, and then potentially finding my way into some more energy would be great as well. This is really strange what's happening here. I'm not understanding this at all. Perhaps my opponent is trying to mitigate the fact that that Blastoise has so few hit points left. Maybe their plan is to just use this Keldeo, take the knockout on the Victini, and then hope that I can't knock it out. Which is fair. That's perfectly reasonable. Alright, so this is it. It all comes down to this. If I find a welder, I need 4 energy to knock this Keldeo out. 6, including the energy that I'm going to need for the welder. Okay, let's Acro Break. What a surprise. Alright, here we go. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Do I have a way of switching? Does this list play Switch? I'm literally holding the card in my hand. Do I play Switch in this list? Let me just very quickly look it up. I still need the welder. Okay, I still need the welder. Because if I get the welder, then I don't even need to find the energy. Alright, cool, I win. Sweet. That was funny. So I'm sitting here being like, oh, figure out all the maths. Where's the maths? Give me the maths. When literally the card that I needed this whole time was Blacephalon, because now I can just retreat and then GX for the prize. Excellent. What a smart boy I am. I can't believe I got there. That just was such an unfavourable matchup that I was drawing so poorly in, but still managed to get the job done. Really, really cool list. I won't play any more games because it's just, man, I don't know how many people want to sit and listen to only me speaking for 45 minutes. I know it's always more interesting when Blake or Jordan are here, but, you know, I figured that we'd just do this one. Come on, let me go back to the list. I gotta wrap the video up. Stop telling me how many points I've won. That's what happens when you don't play online for a while. But yeah, no, it's a really fun list. I don't know if you guys like this type of thing where only one of us does commentary and maybe we only play one game or whatever it is, but I just wanted to talk about this list because I thought it was really cool, and yeah, so I put it together and just played it because I had the time and I wanted to. So thanks very much for all of the players who did well in Cologne for giving me more content to talk about. We're going to be having more of our Gawler Cup coming up. We're going to be having some training center coming up as well. We've got lots of ideas and lots of decks that we're going to be looking into. So if you're more into the next set stuff, then we can look at that as well. But yeah, thanks everyone for coming along. If you like the content, consider subscribing by clicking the sable eye in the middle of the screen. On the left, we've got some videos that YouTube thinks you'll like, and on the right, we've got this would be in our Ununified Minds playlist, probably. I'm not sure. It'll be there regardless. You can click on it. Thanks everyone for coming along, and we'll see you all next time for more from the Sable Eyes. Bye.